everyone. So I just wanted to it'll probably take about 5-10 minutes to explain the training booklet manual assignment for the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to present my screen. Now, this document that I'm going to show you right here is posted on Google Classroom. You have access to it. It is already posted. You can look through it, read through it, whatever you need to do. I am creating this video to walk you through this at a slower pace to make sure you fully understand what the assignment is asking you to do. Now, after you watch this video, if you still have questions, please email me. This assignment is not due until Monday, May 25th. That gives you 2 weeks to work on this assignment. So I am expecting you to do a good job on this. There will not be an assignment next week, just so you know. It's just this assignment for the next 2 weeks. So what you are going to be doing is you are going to be creating a training manual booklet for ancient Romans. Now, the scenario I give you is right here. I'm going to read it for you. It says, you live in ancient Rome in the year 100 CE. You have recently been hired to create a training manual for kids to study before they become Roman adults. The purpose of your training manual booklet is to teach young kids how to become successful Roman adults and to be informed citizens. Now, you yourself, right now, you're going to put yourself in the shoes of a Roman adult. You are writing a booklet for kids your age that are becoming Roman adults soon. They're going to have to live in this empire. They're going to have a job, get married, have a family, do all those things in this empire. What are some things that you think are crucial that they know? What is this information that they need to know in order to succeed, to be successful in this empire? So that is kind of the perspective you are taking, a Roman adult teaching kids. Now, your training manual is going to include these things. So first, you are going to have a cover page. Any booklet you have, any book you have has some kind of cover. That cover is going to have a creative and appropriate title. Now think of a book that you may have at home, right? They have a title on that book. It's pretty, it looks nice, it catches your eye. Those are things that I want you to take into consideration. Then underneath that title, you're going to have a brief 2 to 3 sentences explaining what you're making. What is this manual about? What are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish with this manual? That's what's going to be included in those 2 to 3 sentences, and those are underneath your title, more than likely, on this cover page. Then, on this cover page, you're going to have colorful pictures that represent ancient Rome. So maybe you have a picture of the Colosseum, or maybe you have a picture of a goddess, or maybe you have a picture of a Roman food. Any of that would be fine, encompassing what your training manual is going to be about. That's what I'm looking for on this cover page. So a title, 2 to 3 sentences explaining the purpose, and colorful pictures that represent ancient Rome. You're going to want to make sure this looks nice. You want to catch someone's eye with this and make them want to read it. This is for a kid also, so keep that in mind. You don't want any pictures on there that are disturbing or not school appropriate, because this is something that a kid is going to read. Should be in language that a kid is going to understand. Next up, after your cover page, you are going to have this introduction. Now, typically when you have a manual, you open it up and you get this overview of what is exactly in this manual. That is essentially what you're going to be doing. You're going to have this overview or this introduction page that's going to give you 2 benefits of being a Roman citizen. So you're going to have to come up with 2 things that you think are awesome about being a Roman citizen. That's going to go in that introduction. Then you're also going to include 2 drawbacks. So maybe what are some things that aren't so good? What are some things that people will struggle with as they become adults? That's also going to go in that introduction. 2 pieces of advice. So remember, you're this Roman adult. You're teaching a child how to be successful. What are 2 pieces of advice you have for that child? How can they be successful? What are 2 pieces that are going to help them be successful? And then a picture. You can have more than one picture, that's fine, but at least one picture about what you just wrote, about the introduction. So maybe you have a picture of, maybe a benefit of being a Roman citizen is, I don't know, is they have a really powerful army. So you could include a picture of the Roman army on your introduction page. Hopefully that makes sense. In total, that introduction should be at least a paragraph. If you do more, that's fine. You can always do more, but at least a paragraph. Don't forget to have your introduction sentence and your conclusion sentence. You need to take a professional standpoint on this. You are writing a book. This needs to be done professionally. Make sure you introduce your topic and make sure you close up your topic. And then include all this stuff in the middle. So those are your first 2 pages of your book. The next 4 pages of your book are going to be your content pages. Now, I have 8 different topics listed here: law and order, religion, family life, food and drink, housing, education, recreation, and history of the Roman Empire. You do not have to do all 8. That would be 8 pages of content. I am only looking for 4. 4 pages of content, picking 4 of these different topics. So let's say you choose to do religion, food and drink, housing, and history of the Roman Empire. You think those are the 4 most important topics that kids need to learn about. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down here in this chart, which I've already done the first one for you. I said religion would be one of the topics I'd want to include. So I'm going to include it here as number 1. I also said food and drink is another topic that I want to include. So I put it there. I think I said education. It's either housing or education, but I'm going to put education. So education would be my 3rd topic. And finally, history of the Roman Empire would be my 4th and final topic. I have these topics narrowed down. I know what my content pages are going to be. I think these are the most important things about the Roman Empire that I want kids to know. If you want to do more than 4, you are more than welcome to do that. Go ahead, be my guest. Go for it. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. But I'm looking for at least 4 pages of content. So once you have your topics narrowed down, now you're going to have to do some outside research. If I were doing religion, I would go to Google and I would want to type in something like important gods in the Roman Empire. This is going to give me a Google search of important gods that are in the Roman Empire. Now, when you're choosing sources, you're going to want to choose a source that looks credible. PBS right here would be a great source for you to choose. If I click on that link, I'll get an article. I can read all about it. Let's scroll down here. History Hit. If I go to this page, I don't know what this page is, so I'm going to click on it. It gives you the author. Okay. Oh boy. Let's get off that page. That page is not good. So let's go back to Google. And I spelled important wrong. I'm not going to go back to that site. It kept saying that there was a pop-up or blocker or something, so obviously it's probably not a good site. Wikipedia, stay away from. National Geographic would be a great source, right? That is something super popular. It's published, it's well-known, great source for you to use. I'm going to go back up here to PBS, though. That's another great source. So when you're looking for sources, guys, just make sure that you're using well-known sources, highly published, and they are credible. Okay? Obviously, the one with the pop-up is not going to be a credible source. So I would read through this, not super long, and it tells me all about the Roman gods. I would take a few pieces of information out of this and I would put it then in my training manual booklet in my own words. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here. I have this training manual example. I haven't done anything. This is a Google Slides. I just created one. And I'm going to pick a theme. And I would put my creative title here. Remember, I would add pictures to this cover page. This would be my 2 to 3 sentences about the training manual. Then I would have my introduction slide. I would have my paragraph about good things, bad things. So positive / drawbacks of being a Roman citizen, as well as advice for children about being a Roman citizen. So I would include all that stuff as well as pictures on this slide. Forgot an I. This next slide would be my religion slide. Now, I am going to put some bullet points here. I'm going to get rid of that. And part of the requirements for this page of content, the first thing, you're going to explain why you think it's important. So, explain importance is the first thing you're going to do. Why does this topic matter? Why did you choose to include it in your training manual? The next thing is describe it. Summarize the main points. This is where the outside research comes in. This is where the bulk of this comes in. Right here, 5 to 10 sentences. Okay, so this is where you include all of your outside research. So let's do a nice little bullet point there. If I go back to this source, and I'm doing religion, right? What do I want kids to know about religion? I would say right here, this is a great thing. The 3 most important gods were Jupiter, Juno, Minerva. Okay, and then it says what those are gods or goddesses of. So if I were back in my slides, I would literally type in ancient Rome, the 3 most important gods and goddesses are Jupiter. I forget what was the other one. One was Minerva and Juno. So Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. Then I would go on to say Jupiter is the god of or I would say Jupiter is the protector god of the state. That's probably how I would word it. Jupiter is the protector god of the state. What else does it say? Juno is the protector of women. So Juno is the protector god of women. And Minerva is a goddess. Let's see what she is. She's the goddess of craft and wisdom. Minerva is the goddess of craft and wisdom. So right there, I have one important piece of information. Okay. So that would be part of it. I'm going to obviously do more research and type more things in here. And that'll help make this training manual complete. However, before I move on to a new source, what I want to do is I want to take this link, I'm going to copy it, and then I am going to paste it. Now, I could either paste it. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. If you want to do your sources page down here in the notes, you could do that. I could copy and paste the link there. If you want to have a sources page at the end, you could copy and paste the link here. Or if you want to tell me exactly where that piece of information came from, what you can do is you can highlight this, go up here to this button where it says insert link, and you can paste your link in there. And then what it'll do is it'll change the color and it'll alert me that this is a hyperlink, and I can click on it and it'll take me directly to that site. So lots of different ways you can import or input your sources. Just make sure they get put in there. Because if you don't, that's considered stealing. You're stealing someone else's work. That's plagiarism. And we want to stay away from that. You can get in big trouble for plagiarism. So we always make sure to include our sources. Okay, so you would find quite a bit of information, and that should be anywhere from 5 to 10 sentences. Then you would need to type, why do they need to have an in-depth understanding? That kind of goes along with this one, I would say. So if we go up here, again, we'll hit enter. Why do they need to have an in-depth understanding? So right here, that is the next question that you need to answer. Then after that, I just keep going down the list right here. This is the last question. How will it help them be successful? So I'm going to again put that in here. How will this topic help them become successful as adults in the Roman Empire? All of that stuff needs to be included for each topic. If you need to do more than one Google slide for a topic, that's fine. Maybe you need to do 2 or 3. That's totally okay, but you need to make sure you do 4 different topics. So each slide would be a different one. For me, education. I did history of the Roman Empire. And my last one, I don't remember what it was, food and drink. So that would be my last topic page. And I would make sure to include all of that information, my outside resources, my links for all the information that I found on the internet. I would make sure to include all of that stuff for each of these topics. So hopefully this helps you with your assignment for the week. You can use Google Slides. That's kind of, I think, the easiest way to go about doing this. However, I had a question yesterday in class, and someone asked if they could do either Adobe Spark videos or if, I forget the other one, what they asked. But you guys can do it any way you want to. If you think that making a video would get your information across the best, that's fine. If you think maybe doing it in Microsoft Word would be better, that's okay too. Whatever you think will get your information across the best and look the nicest is what matters. And if you have all that information, you have to have all 4 topics as well as your introduction page and your cover page. So down here, that's kind of what I said. Your project will be a total of at least 6 slides. That's the minimum. That would be 1 page for your cover page, 1 page for your introduction, and 4 pages for your topic pages. Make sure you're creative. I want to see pictures. I want to see creative fonts, different colors. I want to see lots of different things because this is going to be visually appealing for kids. If this is all black and white and no pictures and standardized font, a kid is not going to want to read this. This is going to be something that would be something that a kid would want to take off a shelf and read. So make sure that you're including lots of pictures, lots of different color fonts, all that stuff. When you finish it, you're going to share it with me at my student email right here and upload it to Google Classroom. If you want me to give you feedback before you officially turn it in, I can do that and tell you where you need to improve or what looks good. So hopefully this video will help you understand the assignment a little bit better. If you have questions still after watching this video, please email me and I will do my best to answer them. So with that, I am going to sign off here. I hope everyone has a great day and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.